Hi guys and welcome back to the channel Held Dominance. Anthony here. Please remember to like and subscribe and also click that notification bell if you're enjoying what you've seen and if you want to see more. Coming up, NRL rocks Rabbitohs with playmaker contract refusal. Roosters have signed outside half on a long-term deal. And Melbourne halfback causing a storm. So in today's video we begin at the Rabbitohs, as it's turned out that Anthony Milford's contract has been refused due to criminal proceedings that are ongoing. The halfback's NRL career looks in doubt after the NRL barred the South Sydney Rabbitohs from registering his contract, as he was handed a 1-year lifeline by Souths after the Broncos opted not to renew his $1 million per year contract. Milford was arrested in late September following an incident in Fortitude Valley in Brisbane. Milford is accused of 3 counts of assault and occasioning bodily harm after allegedly assaulting 3 bystanders, a man and 2 women, who intervened in an argument between Milford and his wife Mary. It is also alleged that he allegedly threw a garbage bin at a car, leading to a charge of willful damage involving a vehicle also. In the NRL statement it said, "The National Rugby League NRL has advised player Anthony Milford and the South Sydney Rabbitohs that he will not consider registering a contract for the player until criminal proceedings against Milford have been completed. Given the severity of the allegations, particularly with 2 charges of alleged violence against women, the NRL will not consider an application for registration until the court process is complete." In response, the Rabbitohs statement read, "The South Sydney Rabbitohs respect and support the NRL's decision not to register a contract for Anthony Milford at this stage. The Rabbitohs will await the outcome of legal proceedings and the NRL's final determination before commenting further." Milford, who has played 42 times for Canberra Raiders since moving to Brisbane in 2015, eventually played 151 times for the Red Hill Club Brisbane, earning 2 State of Origin caps in 2017 and 2018. But his form nosedived in recent years, and this season Milford took home a $1 million paycheck despite struggling for first team appearances. He was brought back into the side near to the end of the season for Brisbane and saw some of his best form of his contract during that period. I think he played 7 games, scored a couple of tries and kicked quite a few goals. So the star quality is there, and with new Rabbitohs coach Jason Demetriou making him his playmaker instead of, well, as Adam Reynolds has gone the other way, it is a bit of a disappointment for the Rabbitohs, and they will now have to look into alternate options if the NRL deem it that he will not have a contract for 2022. He's not the only NRL player in trouble. We've covered all different types of instances that have gone on during 2021. So hopefully the integrity unit will be involved. Will be able to help Mr. Milford in whatever he needs, so that he can be a part of rugby league, as he's a talented player and we do not want talent to go by the wayside. Best way to put it, if they don't learn from indiscretion, then that should be the case. But if he learns, not a problem. As there's a little bit of turmoil on the south side of Sydney, the Roosters have gone about securing one of their brightest talents for 2023 and beyond. as they have extended the contract of Joseph Manu until 2024 after the Star Centre was delighted to sign him on for another 2 years. Manu, who is 25 years old, has been mooted as a possible target for rival clubs and new NRL franchise, the Dolphins, in recent months, but confirmed on Monday he will remain at the Tricolours. Speaking on the Roosters website, he said, "The Roosters is home to me and I couldn't see myself playing for another club. From top down, I love this club. Trent and the coaches and staff we have here help. Trent and the coaches and staff we have here help me make me a better player and a person every day. It's a privilege to wear the Roosters jersey and I'm excited for where the future holds." Manu has gone on to play 114 games for the Roosters up until the 27th of August 2022 and scored 40 tries in that time. Since making his debut in 2016 when he first came to fruition and to prominence during the 2016 NRL Auckland 9 squad, which he played for in the February. And he played against the New Zealand Warriors, playing on the wing in the 12-10 loss at the Mount Smart Stadium. So it's a good move for all involved, as the big, tall, rangy centre has been absolutely fantastic for the Roosters. Manu joined the Roosters as a teenager in 2014 after playing his junior rugby in New Zealand. He celebrated his 100th NRL game with the club earlier this year, and his coach Trent Robinson had this to say: "Joseph has been with the club since he was a schoolboy, and I've loved watching him develop into a hard-working player and a game changer we all enjoy watching today. Joey has an incredible work ethic and is confident in the player and the man that he is. And it's great news that his leadership will continue to benefit the Roosters in the coming years." Manu is expected to join his Roosters teammates for pre-season training in the coming weeks after his 2021 campaign was cut short by a fractured cheekbone he suffered against the Rabbitohs in round 24. So, it was a tough one. It was a compound fracture as well, because he blew out. Everything on his cheek went back inside. It wasn't a nice look after who did it. But while players are leaving clubs left, right and centre, Sydney have boosted their ranks by keeping one of their talisman in play. Even though over the last year and a half they have lost quite a few players, like the Morris twins and Boyd Cartner. So this bit is what I like to call Brandon Smith a timeline since the end of the 2020 season. First of all, he was embroiled in the white powder white powder hotel room controversy before the Daily M Awards. The NRL Integrity Unit have got involved in that, and we don't know what the outcome is from that proceeding. I may have missed it, but it is quite a bad look for him in the game. He wasn't the only one in the dressing room, must admit, but the social media pictures depicted him and a few other Storm players blowing off steam, if you will, to their 2021 season. Then he publicly announced that at the end of the 2022 season he will be leaving the Melbourne Storm. Whether that is ambitions, even though Storm are likely to be in and amongst the top teams, or financially motivated, setting himself up for life after rugby league, it is yet to be determined. It didn't help that he started touting around clubs, him and his agent going around clubs, whereas out on social media, talking to the Canterbury team, backroom team, the negotiations team, in a potential move to them. And recently, in a podcast, it wasn't the only club that he went to, but this one was most head-turning, as the NRL star has had his head turned by Sydney Roosters, admitted he looked at their famous jumper during a meeting and thought, I want to win a premiership in that jersey. As we said, he's a free agent from 2023. Smith says his decision on his NRL future has been made, but will meet with Storm coach Craig Bellamy before making it public. I've made up my mind, Smith told YKTR Sports Podcast. I've still got a meeting with the Storm, and Craig is pretty persuading too, speaking about his coach at the Storm. He said he was blown away by the Roosters power brokers, coach Trent Robinson, and the game's record holder Mitch Obuson. The 25-year-old has been courted by newcomers the Dolphins, Gold Coast, and said that Penrith, West Tigers and Parramatta had also shown interest. But he was particularly taken by the Roosters after being invited to Robinson's house and making pizza with his French wife and family. The things that really get me is his love for culture, like Aboriginal culture, Maori culture, Samoan culture, Tongan culture. He can talk about it. He knows so much stuff about it, reads books on all those things. And that to me is special, because obviously I'm a proud Maori man. For him to be like that is awesome. He's pretty much persuaded me with his words. Smith played golf with the Kiwi test mate Jared Waihara-Hargreaves and the Roosters star Obuson and Jake Friend, and lunched with heavy hitters Mark Burris. Mitchie Obo almost made me cry, Smith said. How he spoke about the club and what they've done for him, and the history of why they wear that jersey, and why we play the way we do. Back in the 20s, Bondi wasn't what we see today. That's what he was talking about. It's pretty much wanted to make me cry, make you cry. I was just looking at the Roosters jersey as he said it, as he was saying it, and I had goosebumps. I was looking at it going, I want to win a premiership in that jersey. He said he felt the Roosters were well positioned to set players up for life post NRL. They want you to be set for life. They don't want you to walk away with nothing from rugby league. They just push that. They can tell you how they're going to help you with life. It is just mind-blowing. Going back to the white powder incident, Melbourne seemed to have rallied around Smith and backed him fully, and for this to all to come out afterwards, Melbourne felt more than disrespected by the whole process, and they are saying in circle, while refusing to comment, that the comments left Craig Bellamy, Chairman Matt Tripp, and Head of Football Frank Onisi livid. So, furious Melbourne power brokers are still incensed with the conduct of Brandon Smith during contract negotiations, which are considering immediately cutting their star hooker loose. Smith's manager confirmed to the Storm on Monday that his star client will be joining the Roosters from 2023. The decision came despite Smith guaranteeing that Melbourne will be given the last right to retain his service. Before informing the incumbent club of his decisions, Smith espoused the virtues of the Roosters on the podcast after a meeting with Trent Robinson. Glowing praise from club chairman Nick Politis was coming, and it just kept the Storm really incensed. The parties have agreed that it will remain in a purple jersey until the end of the 2022, but some are saying that they've even offered the option for the Melbourne Storm hooker Smith to be released from his final year. Smith has since on the podcast spoken about a supposed drinking culture at the Storm, a comment that the Premiership winning hooker claims to be taken out of context, and has apologised for all the comments that he's made in this case, as he went on to say that he wanted to address the ongoing speculation and in the media going round about him at the moment, and specifically my comments on the YTKR podcast, he said in his statement posted on Instagram on Tuesday. Over the past 2 months, I've read multiple headlines about me day in and day out, many of which are untrue, and none that came from my mouth directly. I've done this podcast for that reason, to be fully transparent about the process I've been going through. It's honestly been really exciting throughout, and I'm truly grateful for to be in the position I'm in. One thing I pride myself on is being myself, and regardless of the backlash, I'll continue to do so. That being said, I do acknowledge and want to apologise for some of the comments I have, some of the comments have been received. Specifically to Melbourne Storm, it has never been my intent to disrespect that club that has done so much for me and my family, and that goes for my coaches, members, staff, and most of all my teammates. He did go on to say that it will be the last he'll be talking about the podcast in any circles, and did say for his future, whatever happens, I will give 100%. It's all I know. If I'm to be labelled a terrible person, so be it. If I cuss too much, I'm sorry, but that is me, and I will continue to be me. In response, Melbourne issued their own statement. Recent comments made by Brandon in a podcast and the way he expressed them do not align with Storm's values and the way we operate as a club, said Storm CEO Justin Rodsky. The statement has deeply offended current and former players, coaches, staff, and board members, and the club strongly rejects the comments made about the Storm culture. We acknowledge Brandon's apology made on social media today and his willingness to prepare for the 2022 season with the Storm. Brandon has every right to explore future opportunities as a player, as any player would do in his position, and ultimately we respect his decision to play football elsewhere from 2023. So the end all of this story is that the Melbourne Storm are allowing giving up on their contract negotiations, as Brandon Smith has committed to the Roosters for 2023 and beyond. The full information about that contract is yet to come out, but it certainly will do in the next few weeks, I reckon, as the clubs and Smith will want to announce the upcoming change. On the podcast, I do have to say he does have a right to speak about his time at the Storm, what's going on now at with his moves and things like that. But while it is his right, maybe it was a little mistimed, because this is more of a statement from an acrimonious divorce, a attempt tempestual divorce and breakup of two parties. I don't know why he's a bit bitter about it, and that's what comes across. He does seem to have a little bit of this behind him about the entire situation. Otherwise, he would have went back to Melbourne Storm and said, "The Roosters have offered me this. What can you do?" He didn't. The Roosters say, and the Smith said, he was going to be offering the Storm the last option to retain his services, contract and all. But he decided to go to Sydney. His choice. Not begrudging him that. Does seem a little bit bitter in my opinion. He may be completely wrong. That's what it sounds like in my ears. So, is it a good move for Smith? You tell me in the comments. I'll be happy to hear what you have to say. And that's it for another video, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for watching. Please remember to please like, subscribe and share this video worldwide. And also please comment in the comment section, obviously, about today's stories and what your thoughts are going on. Is there anything you spotted in rugby league in the last few weeks that I haven't covered? Do you want to tell me about stories? Please comment. There's no filter on this. I want feedback. I want back and forth, because you and I have a lot of information to share. And also, speaking about rugby league, there's people involved in the story. Tell me who's going to win the NRL, because that's an interesting aspect with all the changes going on. Are West going to go that few steps further? Is it Storms again to win or to lose? Do you think the signings at each club? And who's been your best bit of business in pre-season for the NRL clubs? Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Please remember to share the video worldwide. Also, don't hesitate in tagging anyone in to get them to subscribe to this channel. We're 22 away from 100 subscribers. That's my first milestone. Once we crack that, hopefully we can push on. We go for the 1,000 after that, and then the 4,000, and then we can start helping rugby league. I may be talking a lot, but I like talking back to you guys. Anyway, thank you again for watching. Share this video, and stay safe. All the best, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.